The official trailer for Spider-Man: Brand New Day is finally here. And from the very first seconds it's obvious this film is going to be something completely different. Peter's mutated eyes. The Hulk completely out of control. Jean Grey jumping from mind to mind. And an emotional story built around friendships that no longer remember who he is. We're going through all of this in detail right now, because there are things in this trailer that probably didn't register on a first watch. Welcome to Avengers Protocol, the channel where the Marvel Universe gets analyzed the right way. If you're new here, subscribe right now and hit the notification bell. This is exactly what we do every single day. Let's get into it. Scene by scene. The trailer opens right in the middle of a battle. And the first thing that immediately stands out is Peter Parker's eyes. That mutation is visible from the very first frame. And what that establishes from second zero is that this is not the youthful, wide-eyed Spider-Man we've grown used to over the past decade. Something is changing inside him, and it's not happening on his terms. We then get the situation with Ned and Michelle. They're in their last semester at MIT, doing a live stream together. And Peter is completely alone. That single image communicates everything about where Peter is emotionally at this point in the story. There's a moment that looks simple but carries a lot of weight. Peter tries to activate his web shooters and can't. The shooters get launched off his wrists and fly toward the wall on their own, because the web is now coming out organically from his body. Peter has organic webs. His powers are mutating in ways he doesn't understand and cannot control. And that sends him directly to find Bruce Banner. This leads to one of the most important exchanges in the entire trailer. Bruce tells Peter, "You're not one of my students." And that line has a very specific explanation worth unpacking. After Peter Parker's identity was erased at the end of No Way Home, his academic records disappeared along with it. We saw that in the final scenes of that film, where Peter was starting his basic education over again from scratch. It's very likely he never made it into a university at all. So he grabbed a NYU hoodie, walked onto campus, and pretended to be a student because he knew Banner was working there as a professor. The conversation between them sets up the film's central question. How do you decide which part of a mutation is good, and which part is bad? Peter is enjoying the extra power this transformation is giving him. What he can't handle is losing control. That tension is the emotional engine driving the whole story. And the question Bruce throws back at him, how do you decide what's good and what's bad, isn't just for Peter. It's a question the trailer is asking the audience too. Hit like on this video right now if this breakdown is landing for you. That small gesture helps this content reach way more people. And if you're not yet subscribed to Avengers Protocol, this is the moment. The best part of the analysis is still coming. There's a genuinely great sequence where Peter is swinging through the city at such speed that a pigeon gets caught in his chest web and completely throws him off course. He crash lands into what appears to be a wedding reception. That has all the comedic DNA of the Tom Holland Spider-Man films, but it also works narratively. His powers are so out of control that a bird can take him down. That's a clever way to show the problem without spelling it out. Shortly after, we see a massive energy wave that freezes people in place across an entire street. Even the Punisher gets hit by it. That level of force points towards something of enormous psychic scale. And the trailer confirms it. There's a sequence where someone is jumping from mind to mind, mentally traveling through different people searching for something. That's Jean Grey. And there's a genuinely interesting technical detail in that sequence. What appears to be a scanning interface shows up, as if the AI in Peter's suit is tracking the movement of that consciousness in real time. Meaning Spider-Man's suit is actively identifying how Jean Grey is jumping from person to person. And there's a line that says Spider-Man is the only one who can sense this. That might connect directly to his spider sense. If Peter can detect Jean Grey's powers in a way that nobody else can, that would explain exactly why she's targeting him specifically. We also get the first clearly visible appearance of Cindy Moon, also known as Silk. She's wearing that green jacket over a yellow outfit, exactly matching what appeared in the set photos that leaked earlier. There's no question it's her. It is. And her presence in this trailer, with the face hidden but the costume completely identifiable, confirms that her role in the story is significant. There's also a sequence where Scorpion shows up during a chase. The visual design for the character is excellent. The tail with the stinger is well realized. The look is dark and threatening, and he doesn't have the full helmet in that specific moment. That actually works in his favor. Seeing Mac Gargan without the full armored costume first made an immediate impression. Now let's get to the moment most people were waiting for, the Hulk. Peter spots Bruce's inhibitor device on the ground, not on Banner's arm where it's supposed to be. And Banner had told him directly, "If you ever see me without this, run." In that moment Peter understands what's coming. And what follows confirms something Avengers Protocol has been discussing for months. The Hulk is going to appear in gray tones. There's still some green in there, but the color palette is clearly different from what we've seen before. He's bigger, more uncontrolled, more primal. Exactly what fans have been asking for. The thunderclap he delivers, that double palm strike that generates a devastating sonic shockwave, sends Spider-Man flying through the air. That is going to look absolutely incredible on a big screen. There's a specific moment at the end of the trailer that deserves a closer look. The building is collapsing and the Hulk is trapped inside the wreckage. Looking carefully, you can see that Spider-Man had tried to contain the Hulk by using his webs to anchor him to the building's structure. The Hulk didn't break the webs, because those webs are incredibly strong. What he did was destroy the structure the webs were attached to. The building itself wasn't enough to hold him. That tells you everything about the power level we're about to see from this version of the Hulk. Subscribe to Avengers Protocol if you haven't yet. This is exactly the kind of deep, detailed Marvel analysis we put out every single day. Hit like, activate the bell, and be part of this community. We keep going. The scene of Peter arriving at Ned and Michelle's apartment carries serious emotional weight. We see everything Ned has about Spider-Man: photos, memorabilia, the collection of someone who genuinely idolizes the hero. And then Michelle appears and introduces herself to Peter, as if he's a complete stranger. But there's something important in what happens next. When Spider-Man warns Michelle that she's in danger, she believes him immediately. And that probably happens because Michelle does remember the experiences she had with Spider-Man as a hero, even if she doesn't remember that the man inside the suit was her boyfriend. Those are two different memories. And the gap between them is going to be a core part of the emotional journey of this film. The reason Michelle is in danger can also be inferred. Jean Grey, reading Peter's mind to track his connections, could discover who the people he loves are. And that makes them targets. Though Jean Grey isn't necessarily the villain of the story. Everything points toward her being a victim of the Damage Control Agency, and Peter eventually discovering that truth and ending up protecting her rather than hunting her. There's a line in the trailer that reinforces this: Spider-Man is the only one who can sense what Jean Grey is doing. That might be the exact reason Damage Control wants to use him to capture her, without Peter knowing that Jean is actually the victim. And when Peter figures that out, he switches sides. Peter takes Michelle to the Punisher's safe house. And that says something important about where the story is at that point. Bruce Banner has almost certainly already transformed into the Hulk by then, and caused serious damage, which is why Peter ends up trusting Frank Castle more than Banner in that moment. There are also older rumors suggesting the Punisher had been protecting the Silk character. It's possible Peter arrives at that safe house and finds the situation more complicated than he expected. The prison sequence returns in this trailer, once again positioned at the end as if it's the film's central climax. The Hand, the clan of Red Ninjas, appears to have a much larger role than initially expected. And there's a moment where Peter, with his powers completely out of control, is spraying webs in every direction as he descends in a wild spiral. That sequence is one of the most visually memorable things in the entire trailer. We are going to see Spider-Man's powers in this film like we've never seen them in any movie before. And there's one image that can't be ignored: Aunt May's gravestone. The inscription reads, "When you help someone, you help everyone." Exactly what she used to tell Peter. That moment is going to hit hard in the theater. This trailer made one thing absolutely clear: Brand New Day is going to operate on multiple levels simultaneously. Intense action, power transformation, conflict with the Hulk, the Jean Grey threat, the dynamic with the Punisher, and at the center of all of it, the emotional core of a Peter Parker who lost his connections and needs to rebuild them to reconnect with his own humanity. There's still a lot to analyze, and we're going to keep doing that here at Avengers Protocol with every new reveal that drops. If you made it all the way to the end, drop the word Spider-Man in the comments so we know you were here until the last second. We read every single one. Hit like if this breakdown was worth your time. Every like helps this channel grow and gets this content in front of more people who love the Marvel Universe as much as we do. And if you're still not subscribed to Avengers Protocol, there's no reason to wait. Subscribe right now, hit the bell, and join the community. We put out Marvel analysis every single day. This is Avengers Protocol, signing out.